everyone, back tuning into this morning's video. It's Monday at GazWeatherVids.com, which means only one thing. Yep, it's Europe Day every Monday at GazWeatherVids. We have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is going to be no exception. Now, this is going to be the last European outlook of the year, because I'm going to be winding the website and videos down a little bit over the Christmas holiday. So they won't run next week or week after. The European outlook will return on Monday, the 6th of January. So this will be the last European outlook, as I say, of 2013. Now, before I go on video, just to talk about the advertising. There's video ads on my page at GazWeatherVids.com. If you press play on the video ad, you'll be supporting GazWeatherVids.com, and thanks very much for doing that. Gav Shop is open, so if you want to do any Christmas shopping at Amazon, click through the Amazon banners in Gav Shop. They'll take you to Amazon. You can do your Christmas shopping there as normal, and at the same time, GazWeatherVids will get a royalty fee on anything you purchase. Thanks so much for doing that. Gav Shop will be closing on Christmas Eve, so haven't got much longer to get Christmas shopping through Gav Shop if you want to do that. So let's get on with the European outlook, and this is the synoptic pressure chart today. We've got high pressure extending in across many central, southern and eastern parts of Europe, much more unsettled up in the northwest and in the west of Europe, with this strong westerly wind coming in off the Atlantic, backing all the way back actually to the United States and to Canada. So the upper air temperature showing it's pretty mild really across many parts of the continent. The proper cold winter air is over Russia really. It's restricted back now into Russia. Most of the continent actually mild in terms of the upper air temperatures, though under this ridge it's still cold across the east of Europe, and the dew points do show that up quite nicely. The dew points are below freezing for many central eastern parts of Europe, today indicating that the cold, low-level continental air goes on, but the real cold, the severe wintry cold, is up over Russia. And then for the west and the northwest, it's a good deal milder with those Atlantic winds extending in. So we've got a band of rain here lying across the north of Spain, in towards the north of France, going into England, and then on through the North Sea in towards Denmark. Behind that, it is a little bit colder, so some wintry showers, western Scotland perhaps. And also the chance of some rain, sleet or snow showers across parts of Scandinavia. Many of those showers will be falling as sleet or snow over high ground, but down on the lower levels on the coast of Norway, for instance, you may get a little bit of rain or sleet there. Most of the continent is actually dry until you come down to the very far southeast, where we have got some quite heavy showers going on. Temperatures today show that most of Europe is, well, it's quite chilly in the east, but it's not desperately cold, really. It's certainly not as cold as it could be at this time of year. Temperatures around 3, 4, 5 degrees through Poland, and going out in towards Germany as well, where it's 6 or 7 degrees. It's mild up in the west, where it turns colder across Scotland and Northern Ireland. Quite mild through the Mediterranean. Then when you come down to the southeast of Europe, it is quite cold down there. Through the middle of the week, we find this deep area of low pressure sweeping in across the country, coming in off the Atlantic. Still ridge of high pressure goes on in the east, so you're going to find a mild push here for many western parts of Europe through the middle of the week, turning very mild, wet and windy. Most of the continent will be mild through the middle of the week, but really cold areas again restrict to the far north of Russia and the far north of Scandinavia. Dew points though are still below freezing under that ridge across central and eastern parts of Europe. But I have to emphasise that is low-level continental area, isn't proper Arctic origin air. And out in the west, actually very, very mild through through British Isles, Ireland, France, Spain, France and Portugal. The rainfall through the middle of the week, so I've got heavy rain here coming into west of Europe. Many parts of Europe though will be dry, just some snow flurries perhaps around southern parts of Scandinavia, but the bulk of the continent is going to be dry through the middle of the week. Temperatures show it's going to be very mild in the west, colder in central and eastern parts, but not desperately cold by any means. Through to the end of the week, the deep area of low pressure is still there, sweeping in off the Atlantic with southwesterly gales for much of Ireland, the United Kingdom, going into Scandinavia as well. The ridge is extending through central and southern and eastern parts of Europe, but there's absolutely no sign of the really cold Arctic air being brought to us just yet. Mild westerly winds extending in off the Atlantic in towards central and northern Europe, and then going up in towards Russia as well. The cold air being restricted now towards central Russia and up into the Arctic as well. Very mild through most of the continent in terms of those upper air temperatures. Dew points at about ridge of high pressure extending from Spain through to the east of Europe show that they are chilly. It is cold, low down with that ridge of high pressure, but it isn't the cold Arctic air that we should probably be seeing pushing into parts of Europe by now. That is restricted to central parts of Russia. Very, very mild up across Ireland, Britain and the northwest of France. Rainfall shows got a lot of heavy rain across the northwest of Europe through the end of the week, but most of the continent again under that ridge of high pressure will be dry. Just some snow across the north of Scandinavia and down in towards western parts of Russia perhaps, but the bulk of the continent will be dry. Could be some thundery showers breaking out through central parts of the Mediterranean. Temperatures at the end of the week show it's going to be very mild in the west, particularly for the United Kingdom and Ireland, where temperatures could easily be into double figures and could well be even higher than that, perhaps up to 10, 11, 12 degrees many places. It's chilly across other parts of the continent, that ridge of high pressure. Not desperately cold by any means, but certainly it is on the chilly side. As we move through to the end of the weekend, this is a week away, so it's some time off, but it's a good signal really in this sort of pattern. You can look a little bit further ahead with quite good confidence. So I think it's going to be very similar to this whatever happens, and the ridge of high pressure goes on through central southern parts of the continent. It's much more unsettled up in the north and west with these Atlantic winds extending from Canada and going to Russia, a proper zonal westerly flow, that one. And the upper air temperatures show that most of the continent will be mild with those westerly winds. Dew points show that under the ridge it's still quite cold low down, not severely cold by any means, but it is cold low down. There'll be frost at night and temperatures will struggle by day, particularly if there's any fog forming. But up to the north and west, well again, very mild dew points there, although colder across Scandinavia. Rainfall shows that we've got still quite a lot of heavy rain through Ireland and the United Kingdom. Looks like a really wet week for Ireland and the United Kingdom this week. There'll be some problems with local flooding. Could be some snow across northern parts of Scandinavia. The bulk of Europe though will be dry at the end of the week. And in terms of the temperatures, well, it's still mild in the west. It's chillier for central and eastern parts, but by no means cold. And that's how it's looking for this final European outlook of 2013. It's going to be a mild week for much of the north and west. Chillier under that ongoing ridge of high pressure for central, southern and eastern parts of Europe, but by no means cold. The proper Arctic winter cold is restricted to the north of Scandinavia and to Russia. As long as it stays there, it's never going to be particularly severely cold across the continent. So really quite a very zonal week coming up, and that's it. We'll come back on Monday the 6th of January with the first European Outlook of 2014. It'll be interesting to see whether there's any sign of some proper wintry weather by then. That's it for now. See you next year.